Adjumani civil servants and politicians cautioned to desist from picking parish development model funds. And Arua City Boxing Club prepares for Independence Day friendly game. This and more in the NILECAST News Bulletin. Good evening again, viewer. Good evening again, viewer. You are most welcome again to the NILECAST on West Nile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. Stakeholders blame the head teachers for the massive failure of candidates in the just released Arua City mock examinations that show over 1,000 candidates have failed the exams. The results released today attracted 7,414 candidates who wrote the exams in the 85 schools. Frederick Jamadri has more.
The private schools in Arua City have topped the list of the best performed institutions in the recently sat mock examinations to prepare the candidates for the forthcoming primary leaving examinations. Out of the 7,414 candidates in 85 schools that were tested in both examinations set by West Nile Primary School Teachers Association and Arua City Academic Board, 531 candidates were in Division 1, 2,049 candidates were in Division 2, 1,494 were in Division 3, and 1,855 were in Division 4, making a total of 5,929 candidates who passed the exams, while 1,485 candidates failed the exams. The results that were released today afternoon at Arua Public Primary School indicate that the private schools scored the highest percentages of pass rates, while various leaders castigate the head teachers in public schools for not doing enough and playing their supervisory roles in ensuring improved performance, while Sam Nyakwa, the mayor of Arua City, criticized the head teachers for being adamant.
It is not a surprise that the performance of the private schools is better than our public schools, because many of you don't supervise your teachers well. That's a fact. Many of you are reluctant. You know what you have done.
Meanwhile, Raymond Ompere, the Arua City Principal Education Officer, explains that the results saw a sign of reluctancy and encouraged head teachers to apply extra energy in ensuring increased performance in the next examinations.
The head teachers did not perform very well in the public schools. It was at average. And this calls for a lot of action on our part. These are routines that we interface with every year. One of my biggest challenges with this routine is that each time the results are released like this, when we go back, we do nothing to change the status quo. My appeal to you is that 40 days are many.
On top of the 10 best schools, St. Kizito Ediofe Primary School and Arua Diocese comes number 1 with 80 candidates registered. 70 of them were in first grade, while 10 were in second grade, with a pass rate of 96.88%, followed by Oasis Oboloko Fuku, another private institution which registered 50 candidates. 39 of them were in first grade, while the rest were in second grade, giving a pass rate of 94.5%. However, The best candidate comes from Arua Parents Primary School, a government-aided primary school in Arua Central Division, in the names of Banyipini Rachjali, with an aggregate of 5. The head teacher of Pokia Primary School, a government-aided school in Ivy Division that was ranked 46 in the results, Ele Mazasta Soloto, says lack of will and support from government to primary schools has affected the performance of the schools.
If you take a private school belongs to an individual, and an individual uses all the resources to make sure the school is developed. No, development needs resources. So with the government schools, the government is not injecting enough resources in the education department. That's why these children are not performing well. If government schools are to perform like the private schools, government should take education first priority. Where in fact the lion's share of the national budget should go to education. Where enough classrooms should be built, enough teachers should be employed, so that now overcrowding in the classrooms is reduced. Then number of children taught by teachers is reduced. That way we shall go, and then the schools will improve.
On the other hand, Namale Ronald, the head teacher of Queens and Kings Primary School that was ranked number 3, explains the differences in teaching and learning in private schools that give an edge above the public schools.
Because for us, by 6, the first lesson is already done. Since part of it is boarding, and the candidate class is fully in boarding, by 6 the first lesson is done. Whereby I doubt whether government schools by 6 they already at school. That one alone can make a difference. There is also the continuous assessments that these learners are writing. That one alone is always exposing them to different sets, which makes PLE to be looked at as the rest of the papers they have been doing.
Last year, Arua City produced 256 learners in first grade during the mock examinations, and this gave a mileage for the stakeholders to wake up and increase the figures to 514 in the final primary leaving examinations. With 40 days remaining for the learners to sit for the 2023 primary leaving examinations, all eyes are on the candidates. Frederick Tamadri, West Nile TV, NILECAST.
Welcome back, viewer, and more in our stories. Nebi District LC5 Chairperson Honorable Emmanuel Orombi is calling for deliberate efforts to approve and equip area land committees if land disputes are to be addressed. He made this remark during the State of the District address that took place in Nebi District headquarters in Nebi District. Alfred Jawok has more.
During the State of District address for financial year 2023-2024 held on Wednesday 20th September this year at Nebi District headquarters, Emmanuel Orombi, the district chairperson Nebi, said most of the district land committees from district level to sub-county have not been approved by council, which affects the registration of land in the district. He urged the councillors to approve the land committees in the next council meeting, as this will provide service delivery to the local people.
Have a challenge that some area land committee for sub-counties have not been approved by this council, which affects registration of land in those affected sub-counties. I call upon the about 5, and I call upon the Committee of Production, Marketing and Environment Natural Resource to take up the matter and have these committees approved in the next council sitting. The District Service Commission is established in accordance with the Article 198(1) of the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Section 54(1) of the Local Government Act, Cap 243, with the mandate and powers provided for in the Section 54(2) to appoint members, to appoint persons to hold or act in office, including confirmation of their appointment and the exercise of disciplinary control over such persons and their removal from the office, from office in the local government.
Orombi further said it is his mandate to give accountability and feedback to the people of Nebi district for good service delivery.
On behalf of the district council today, I stood my ground, and we had to give the state of district address as per 2023 now. We looked at security, we looked at road, we looked at water, we looked at education, we looked at the transport, we looked at several things, including youth, children, disabilities, and we are looking at how do we factor current government programs or projects like Myoga, PDM into workable solutions that can steer up Nebi district to another level. But also to highlight on some of the key things, we are looking at also how do we make our road better. That since 2020, there has been problem in the road sector of the kind of funding that have been sending. With this mega fund, what can we do and in which area? Then also our major focus is again now to see what can we do better next financial year. And this is to give the council the insight, or the councillor insights when you are planning what do we need to focus on. And you will realize that we are looking at those bad spots of the road. How do we fix those road chokes? And like when you'll hear about Namroad, that is Kibera Bridge, Namtin Bridge, and we are looking at some roads that have never been touched, like Anywanda Tele Parombo. We are looking at how do we connect Rusi to the center here. How do we connect Kuchwini and Parombo sub-county and Jopangera within Nebi district.
According to Honorable Isaac Otemgiu Ismail, the Member of Parliament Padire County, who was in attendance, said there is a need to appreciate the significance of government and partners for transformation of service deliveries in Nebi district. He said, as a Member of Parliament for Padire County, he will table on the floor of Parliament some of the issues outlined during the district state of address.
Just concluded a successful district state of affairs sitting with fellow councillors here, and we've actually received a very good report from the district chairperson here, who has given us a complete accountability of what has transpired in the last financial year. This is one of the roles that is supposed to be done, and it's very important that actually as leaders of the district we pick up on issues, and on top of that, especially as members of parliament, we pick up on areas where things are stuck, where there is no motion, where response has not come from the ministries, so that we can go and follow up from the ministries to make sure that those implementations actually take place. So it is actually very vital, and I've actually found it very informative as a member of parliament to actually attend this meeting, and I've picked up a number of issues and knowledge regarding to what I should follow up in order for services to be delivered promptly here.
Nebi District Council Speaker Honorable Kizito Ngan, who chaired the sitting, said his office has received complaints about the delay in paying ex gratia of councillors in the district. He asked the district chairperson to handle the matter, as this may hinder service delivery from lower local government units.
Information from the councillors of the lower local governments on the issue of the honoraria, their ex gratia. There's a letter which is sent to the permanent secretary. He should be able to communicate with the senior assistant secretary of the lower local government so that the information is put clear to them.
The State of District address was attended by all councillors, civil servants, and security, among others. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, NILECAST.
And more in our stories, the technical and political leadership of the districts from the West Nile region have been engaged in a meeting to discuss on access to clean water for domestic and productive use. This was during a meeting organized by Action Aid, a non-governmental organization, and was attended by district chairpersons, councillors, engineers, production officers, among others. Farish Majid has more.
This discussion to the government-led tariffs. Water tariff is really hitting people so hard. If you look at Arua City, over 50% of the population is living below average. If you were to talk about people's earnings, they are living below average.
Help us in this area so that we have a lasting solution. We need water. Water is life. Now, I rise to dispute the percentage. Where is my water officer? I think the one who prepared this brief here, we need a statement of withdrawal. We need to withdraw for reasons being that you are going back to do desk reviews and let us know in future. Otherwise, information is key for politicians. It is key. Politicians need data and they need information. Now, information you package here can cause panic, can make us press panic button, and can cause confusion. The water coverage in a rural district is 54%.
All that you have raised, I enjoyed the discussions in the first place, and then in the second place, it was important that we let you know our source of information. My colleague has done it right. It is the ministry database, and also input was from all the water officers. So district chairpersons that are struggling with statistics, I would kindly request that you work closely with your technocrats, and I'm happy that you've also guided your technocrats today. You've guided them today to also be in touch with you to verify the statistics before they can avail them to inform this kind of important position paper. So allow me to say here that when we put it as a strong challenge, delay by the ministry to update our statistics, our district correct statistics, it is.
And more in our stories, Adjumani District civil servants and politicians have been cautioned against picking funds from the Parish Development Model Program. This was revealed during a Parish Development Model engagement with Adjumani District leaders and beneficiaries, where residents in the parishes complained about the local councillors picking money from the Parish Development Model Fund. Onzima Alan has more.
Residents in the 8 parishes in Adjumani District have expressed concern that the LC3 chairpersons of their sub-counties are picking this money of Parish Development Model. This comes at a time the government of Uganda disbursed 6 billion to Adjumani for Parish Development Model Program. The Adjumani District LC5 chairperson Anyama Ben has cautioned the civil servants and middle class to desist from getting the Parish Development Model funds.
Under Parish Development Model, there are categories of people who are not supposed to benefit from PDM. This is one, working class. Working class includes political, working class includes civil. Therefore, if you are civil servant, you are getting this money, that is a mistake. If you are council, you are LC3, you are getting this money, that is a mistake. So it must stop immediately.
Kenny Wellborn, the Pakele Sub-County LC3 chairperson, noted that LC3 chairpersons are less involved in the implementations of PDM activities to be accused for embezzlement.
Persons are less involved, and there is no specific program for us to intervene in a PDM. It is usually the parish chiefs and the LC2s and maybe the officials that are elected for giving out this money. But we know in this today's meeting, we may have some space also for involving ourselves in monitoring PDM activities.
Stephen Korani, the chairperson of Sesha Parish Development Model, Adjumani Town Council, stated that civil servants and politicians are not to receive the Parish Development Model funds.
The district has disbursed each shackles a total of 114 million, and every shackle has received that. Some was disbursed, like I personally, I disbursed all the money in the total of 146 beneficiaries. These beneficiaries, I don't have civil servants who are there. Me, have never served the civil servant as a loan beneficiaries. What I do is the disability, actually all the special interest group that is sick, that comprise of the disability, the youth.
Shandiga Geoffrey, chairperson Una Parish Development Model, asked the district officials to sensitize the people about how the parish development model funds should be used and who are the beneficiaries of this government program.
I'm aware that ado PDM ni sitini ane ba moria konni ba buru ebuga kortiri civil servants ole laka ko kimari pasisia civil servants so stili makaragana yo amase ojoru clear sitili yoke civil servants ni ko lo ndoe so marina militista so madizi ama kala karane koro do attempt nanti alo area be I minimize ra tamandale na nzara ni sakola ni daduru terni PDM alo bani tirlaka PDM ni ari gune delili body supervision ado body members supervision committee ongo PDM body ne na ado batu deri supervision committee na ongo loni committee sa ina na totally pambrimbina.
Peace Oshaki Ojima Alan was Nile TV NILECAST.
And more in our stories, police in Kampala have arrested 2 government drivers, including a police officer, who were captured in a video while violating traffic guidelines in Kampala city. The 2 drivers were apprehended following a video that went viral on social media on Monday, recorded by a whistleblower along Ntinda Stretcher Road. In a statement, the traffic police spokesperson Michael Kananura stated that one of the vehicles, registration number UG0120Q, Toyota Hilux, belongs to Ministry of Public Service, was being driven by Stephen Bukenya, and another police car, registration number UP4911 Toyota Land Cruiser, was being driven by Dan Sabiti, who both drove recklessly.
A very good afternoon, viewers. You are most welcome for today's edition of NILECAST Sports News. My name is Oracle Benson Pastor. A lot of stories are happening in the world of sports. Let's start it with what is happening within the region of West Nile. Of course, Arua City Boxing Club, a boxing club that has already done registration with Uganda Boxing Federation, is currently for a massive preparation ahead of the friendly match that will be taking place on Independence Day against a team that comes from Kampala. Let's have the more of the story.
The City Boxing Club is prepared massively for a friendly game with the East Coast of Kampala on 9th of October 2023 at Heritage Courts. This club is located next to Niva Premier in the city, established in 2021. The team has ever participated at the National Opens and have sent some boxers at the National Boxing Team of Uganda.
This club has gone through a lot. We've achieved a lot. The first time we went for National Opens, we took about 5 members, and out of the 5 members, we have 2 ladies who remained the national team. That is Sauda Muhammadi and the Arafa Aike. They were successful. And then the second year we went, we also got successful people. This time the number was up a little. We had we went with close to 10 people, out of which we had boys who also went through. We have a gentleman called Andama Bashir, who is our captain. He went through. We have others apart from these ladies who also went. This the Arafa, the Sauda, and then we have another lady called Latifa Ali. Latifa Gifts. She also went through, and we have Swadik Muhammadi who also went through, and all these are people now who participate in the national team. So that is what so far we have done, and our dream is big. We expect that Arua being a basket for talents, we want to harvest this talent and make Arua shine as it used to during those days of boxing. The categories of people we train generally the youth. We train the youth in boxing because this is a sport. We expect that the youth of various categories should register. And then too, there are different categories of weights that we consider, even up to heavyweight and so on. We have them here. One condition is that you come, we give you our form. We give you our form, you go home and it is filled. We also need recommendation from home that this is not a bad person for whom, if we give the skills, will not be terrorizing people at home. We want these skills to be helpful. These skills are for sports, to participate in the ring, not really to go and fight outside. So we want assurance from home, even from the LCs. That is what the form stipulates. Then when you bring it here, we will know now this is a good person that we can be able to train. That is when we train you, you become our player of Arua City Boxing Club. We give them a lot of forms of exercise. Physical fitness, we give them. But we have aerobics. We have aerobics which they do, and we have the instructor for aerobics, and then there are also people who come because they want to cut weight, they want to be fit. This aerobics also helps them. It cuts across. But the boxers, we give them all this so that they are fit always. That is what we do here.
At first, I joined in East Coast Kampala. I trained there. After finishing training there, and then I played some novice there, and then I came back to Arua. That's when I now teach them boxing. There is a friend which we organized with the East Coast in October 9th, Independence Day. We are trying to prepare us for that game.
Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television Sports News. In more of the stories, the new season of the StarTimes FIFA Big League official kickstarts today with one game being played between Jinja North United and Boma FC, and the game has ended in a barren draw. It's now the fourth consecutive time the two teams are playing out a draw. Last season they played a draw throughout. This one has also started with a draw. Then we saw them playing another draw in the other season. Now taking a look at the other games to be played in StarTimes FIFA Big League Match Day 1. Games will resume again on Sunday with Calvary up against Tigezi Homeboys, and on the same day, that's on Sunday, we will see on the Parka Football Club taking a trip away to Black's Power, that side of Jinja, and more of the games will also be on the way on Sunday, as we will see the team that's Ndeze University up against the Karo Karunzi. Meanwhile, we will also be expecting a game between Chetume up against the newly promoted side, that's Tinda Boys. On Monday, one game to be played, and it will be a game between Police FC, as they will be taking on the team that's Young Elephant, another newly promoted side, and this game actually will be at Kavumba Recreational Center. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, Match Day 1 will end with a derby there, as two teams that are from eastern region of the country, based in Mbale City. Mbale Heroes, of course, will be tussling it out with Chitara. Still in more of the stories, Mugewa, of course, has been awarded with 2 years conducted by Uganda Netball Federation. This guy actually has been in charge for Sea Cranes, and he has done a lot of wonderful jobs in the 2 years he has spent with the Sea Cranes. Last season, he guided the Sea Cranes to the Commonwealth Games that was hosted by England in the city of Birmingham. And also last month, the Sea Cranes was part of the Netball World Cup that was hosted in Africa by South Africa, where they managed to finish 5th in the whole world. Off script, as I talk right now, match day 2 of the StarTimes Uganda Premier League has already returned. One game is already ongoing between Viper Sports Club and the team of Arua Hill Sports Club. The game started at 7 p.m. Let's finalize everything with what is happening in European sports, all about the return of European nights. The last 2 days, we have actually been talking about UEFA Champions League. It continued yesterday and today. In fact, tonight, we have so many games to be played in UEFA Europa League and in UEFA Europa Conference League. Quickly taking a look at how the UEFA Champions League went yesterday night. Arsenal, after 6 years, began the journey with a 4-0 win over PSV Eindhoven. Meanwhile, Manchester United United played out a 7-goal thriller with Bayern Munich. They were away to Allianz Arena, and the game ended by 4-3. It was the home team Bayern that did beat Manchester United. Still, in more of the results of the UEFA Champions League games that took place yesterday, we saw Napoli, a team that comes from Italy, the champions of a Scudetto last season, were able to beat Sporting Braga of Portugal by 2-1, and Real Madrid got it late against Union Berlin of Germany through Bellingham's goal as they edged out the side by 1-0. The same time Real Madrid was playing Union Berlin, there was a game between Galatasaray of Turkey up against Copenhagen of Denmark, and that game ended in a 2-2 tie. Still, in more of the games that took place yesterday, Salzburg of Austria were actually away to Soccer Lisboa, Benfica of Portugal, and they were able to beat Benfica by 2-1. Meanwhile, we saw 1-1 tie between the team of Inter Milan up against Real Sociedad. Inter Milan got it late through Lautaro Martinez goal and assist coming from Frates, and they were away to San Mamés. Still, more of the games are coming tonight. We are just a few minutes away for the kickoff of the game between Liverpool and the LASK Links, as you can call them, LASK Links, that comes from Austria. The last time Liverpool played in UEFA Europa League was way back in 2016, where they were able to reach up to the finals, and they lost it into the hands of Sevilla by then. Now, along these years, they have actually been participating in the top tier of European football, and this season they are playing in UEFA Europa League, and their game is actually a quarter to the hour of 8 p.m. They are away to LASK in Austria. Still, in more of the UEFA Europa League games to be played, some selected one, as West Ham, they are staying at home as they take on Bakatopola of Czech. Still, in more of the games to be played, AS Roma, of course, will have to leave Estadio de Olimpico and travels away to Sheriff Tiraspol. In more of the UEFA Champions, not UEFA, rather UEFA Europa League games to be played tonight, Rangers will be staying at Reebok Stadium, that's in Scotland, as they say hi to Real Betis, with some games to be played in UEFA Europa League Conference, as we will see Aston Villa traveling away to Poland to take on Legia Warsaw. And one big game I've missed to mention in UEFA Europa League is all about Villarreal traveling away to Panathinaikos of Greece. And also in UEFA Europa League, we will see a game between Ajax of Netherlands up against the Olympique de Marseille of France. Still in that group, we will expect a game between Brighton and Hove Albion as they take on AK Athens of Greece. With that, we have come to the end of today's edition of NILECAST Sports News. My name is Oraku Benson Pastore. We will always keep you updated with what is happening in the world of sports when it comes to the segment of sports at NILECAST. Have the best of your day. Enjoy the game between Arrow Hill Sports Club and the team Das Vipers, and more of the games in StarTimes Uganda Premier League will continue on your way, and we will always keep you updated with what is happening within the region. We talk about national stories. If there are stories that are coming from the continental parts of the continental areas, we will also be keeping you updated. And in most cases, we finalize everything with what is breaking from international sports. I am out of the studio. Enjoy your time. We'll link up again tomorrow.
Thank you, Oraku Benson Pastore, for that sports news and the sports highlight. And that marks the end of the NILECAST on West Nile Television. Thank you, viewers, for always being with us from the beginning of the NILECAST to the end.